This is Matador News, and these are today's headlines. More than 50 people are dead after a riot in a Mexican prison. Scientists say they've detected gravitational waves across the universe.
Thank you, everybody.
And 2 Republican candidates are dropping out of the race.
Hello and welcome to Matador News. I'm Carolyne Hogikyan.
And I'm Haley Kramer. Brace yourself, Los Angeles. The president is back in town. Obama is traveling to from San Jose to Los Angeles today. He's in Southern California for 2 Democratic National Committee fundraisers. He will be in Burbank today for the taping of The Ellen Show. The president will remain in LA overnight. Several streets will be closed during the president's stay. In the Valley, Olive Avenue between North Pass Avenue and Hollywood Way will be closed from 4 to 5:30 this evening. Several areas, including Hollywood Way and Wilshire Boulevard, will be closing for part of the day. Heavy traffic is expected throughout the city today and tomorrow. Secretary of State John Kerry will join Obama in Palm Springs tomorrow. They are attending a summit of leaders from the Association of Southeast Asian Nations. Obama's last visit to Southern California was in October of last year.
North Korea is ordering a military takeover of a factory park that was the last symbol of cooperation with South Korea. The takeover occurred after South Korea suspended operations at the factory due to North Korea's missile tests. North Korea pulled out all the employees and froze South Korean assets. North Korea also cut off cross-border communication hotlines due to the conflict. The conflict began when North Korea launched the satellite Sunday. North Korea says the satellite is for peaceful purposes. North Korea also insulted the South Korean president, saying she is brainwashed by America.
2 candidates have dropped out of the 2016 presidential race. New Jersey Governor Chris Christie ended his run after finishing 6th in New Hampshire primary. He follows businesswoman Carly Fiorina, who suspended her campaign yesterday after receiving only 4.1% of the vote. Fiorina and Christie showed promise at the beginning of the race, but political support faded. Donald Trump won the Republican vote in New Hampshire. Now the race moves to Nevada and South Carolina.
Scientists say they've proved one of Albert Einstein's theories. They've detected gravitational waves, ripples in the fabric of space-time. These waves are created by violent collisions of massive celestial objects. Scientists say these accelerating neutron masses and black holes cause distortions in the fabric of the universe. When these masses merge, they set off gravitational waves in space and, according to Einstein's theory, travel across the cosmos at the speed of light, changing shapes of the matter they encounter. By understanding the process of gravitational waves, we can finally start to understand how our world works.
Now let's go to the Matador News reporter Grecia Lopez in the newsroom with more on the potential strike of CSU faculty members.
Thank you. The California Faculty Association has released the dates of a potential 5-day faculty strike. CFA members have been negotiating with the California State University management about a salary increase since November of last year. The CFA is disputing a 5% salary increase, but the CSU management is only offering 2%. The potential strike dates are April 13th through the 15th and April 18th through the 19th. Faculty members from all 23 CSU campuses are expected to participate. Associated Students President Jorge Reyes says he supports the faculty.
So getting that 5%, in my opinion, as AS president, it's not bad. I believe that they do deserve to get paid. Now, there's faculty who really love what they're doing, but monetarily, they're not getting those needs to have their life and be able to support their families. So I completely stand behind them when it comes to asking for more funds from the state or the Board of Trustees.
CSUN students worry the strike could affect their education.
I feel like the strike is something that's worth doing because as students that also care about our education as well as we care about our teachers, we should know that our teachers have the right to do this strike and should be able to support them because even though it might affect us this semester, it might help out teachers later on.
Yeah, I understand it. It sucks, not getting the pay that you want. But as a student, of course, I care about, me graduating more than teachers' pay. But hopefully we can find a balance between the two, that we can both benefit from this.
The CSU administrators held a web conference last week saying schools will remain open if the faculty goes on strike. If classes are canceled, the information will be posted to campus websites and social media. That's all I have for now. Back to you in the studio.
More than 50 inmates are found dead after a Mexican prison fight broke out between gang virals. Nuevo Leon Governor Jaime Rodriguez says the inmates set fire to Topo Rico prison. The local news was showing the burning prison on Thursday. The relatives of the victims say they want answers, and some family members rioted outside the prison gates. Governor Rodriguez says the event is unfortunate and painful.
Lawmakers have introduced a new encryption legislation in the House of Representatives. The law says states can't make tech companies purposely build weaknesses in product security. Law enforcement opposes the bill, saying criminals can keep investigators out with heavy encryption. Tech companies oppose weak encryption. The law would prevent any state from manipulating security and design to make law enforcement access easier.
The Johns Hopkins Hospital gets approved to perform organ transplants with HIV-positive people. This first-time approval allows HIV-positive donors to donate their organs to HIV-positive patients. One surgeon says this means a new chance at life for patients living with HIV. Johns Hopkins University says more than 120,000 people are waiting for transplants in the United States. The transplants will begin when the donor and patients are identified.
Today's arrest of Clevin Bundy could be the end of that 40-day protest in Oregon. The fight against the Federal Bureau of Land Management started years ago. The leader, Bundy, has wanted grazing rights for his cattle since 2014. Now some of his followers are occupying on a national wildlife refuge in Oregon. FBI agents say they are negotiating with patience and restraint to maintain the peace. Bundy has been charged for conspiracy, assault on a federal officer, and obstruction.
The Ferguson City Council rejects a deal that would bring changes to its discriminatory policing. Ferguson, Missouri is facing a federal lawsuit from the Justice Department because of the rejection. Council members are also expressing concern for the $3.7 million cost. This all concerns after controversy in August 2014 when a city police officer shot unarmed African-American teen Michael Brown. The city has been waiting for nearly a year to reach an agreement on how to solve racial tensions. The Attorney General for the Justice Department says the city is ignoring the voice of their citizens.
The Supreme Court will pause President Barack Obama's plan to address climate change until after legal challenges are resolved. This is a surprise to the administration and a victory for the coalition of 27 mostly Republican-led states and industry opponents. The Obama administration's plan aims to avoid the worst predicted impacts of climate change by reducing carbon dioxide emissions at existing power plants by about 1/3 by 2030.
Now let's go to Stephanie Bedolla with the business report.
Thank you, Caroline. Another bad day on Wall Street as investors worry about the slumping global economy. At last check, the Dow Jones had dropped more than 250 points. Federal Reserve Chair Janet Yellen says the falling financial market could slow the U.S. economy's growth. But the stock market turmoil has a silver lining for home buyers. Mortgage buyer Freddie Mac says the average rate on a 30-year fixed rate mortgage dropped to 3.65%. Mortgage rates falls despite the Federal Reserve decision to raise short-term rates for the first time in a decade. Next up, we have Jordan Williams with the latest in health.
A vaccine for the wide-spreading Zika virus may arrive sooner than expected. CDC head Anthony Fauci says Brazil has signed an agreement with the medical branch of the University of Texas to develop a vaccine that could be ready in as little as 12 months.
When you develop a vaccine, you target it for everyone. Even though there may be a greater at-risk group, you target it for everyone. If you're in a country where the risk is always there of an outbreak of Zika, you might want to make that part of the normal vaccination program.
Brazil has declared the Zika virus a public health crisis. Researchers link the virus to a surge in rare birth defects affecting brain function. The CDC is saying to avoid travel to 22 countries in the Americas with active outbreaks. The United States is expecting thousands of Syrian refugees in the coming months, but mental health experts fear the refugees could need extra assistance. Syrians are fleeing their country due to the ongoing civil war. Education, healthcare, jobs, and a safe home are priority number one for most refugees. Overlooked issues facing the refugees are the mental scars of war. The Obama administration is expecting to take in at least 10,000 refugees in the fiscal year that began in October. Experts estimate 10 to 20% of the incoming refugees suffer from war-related psychological problems that warrant treatment. An all-male committee of Utah legislators vote to keep a sales tax on tampons. The committee voted 8-3 against removing the tax. They say they want to make the tax system predictable. Pennsylvania and Minnesota are some of the states that have removed the taxes, while California is considering a similar proposal. Some say governments who make money off the sale of tampons are punishing women for their bodies. Back to Stephanie with the latest news in entertainment.
Adele says she will perform a surprise pre-Grammy concert at the Los Angeles Wiltern Theater tomorrow. It's her first concert performance since the release of her blockbuster album 25. The Wiltern is a small theater holding less than 2,000 people. Tickets are being offered only to California fans already registered to her website, Adele.com. The singer's also doing 6 nights at Staples at the end of the month. The Grammys will air Monday, February 15th on CBS and will be hosted by LL Cool J. Adults in America are turning to online dating to find love. A new Pew Research Center survey reports 15% of Americans have used online dating sites and mobile dating apps. The number of Americans using online dating apps has almost tripled in the past 2 years, especially among younger people and older Americans as well. Young adults have the highest rate in knowing someone who uses online dating and who have entered a long-term relationship. Most people who have tried online dating said it is a good way to meet people. It's Valentine's Day this weekend. Matador News reporter Amber Linehan is in the newsroom with the latest on CSUN students' plan for the holiday.
Roses are red, violets are blue. CSUN students give us their point of view. I spoke to some today about whether they liked or disliked this holiday. Here are some of their thoughts.
I think it's a beautiful holiday. Like, spreading the love is amazing.
I dislike it because I don't like the fact that it's consumed around marketing and advertisement and things like that. I like the concept of it, but I think that if you really appreciate someone, you would do it year-round, not just on that one day where people go all out.
I personally like it because even if you're single or if you're a couple, everyone tends to be really happy. So I think you should just embrace the love.
Years before, it just seemed like it was a kind of pointless holiday, but now it seems like it's going to be pretty fun. So I guess the having someone to share the Valentine's Day with is the important part. So.
Because you get to spend time with that special someone, and that's just a great thing, honestly.
So there it is. Be safe and have a great Valentine's Day. Back to you, Jordan, who has the latest update on sports.
England international soccer player Adam Johnson has pleaded guilty to child sex charges. The Sunderland player pled to 1 count of sexual activity with a child and 1 charge of grooming. Johnson, who plays for the Premier League club Sunderland, appeared in a Bradford County court on Thursday. Johnson also denied 2 charges of sexual activity with a minor under the age of 16. Johnson will not be available for this weekend's match with Manchester United. Johnson's trial formally opens tomorrow. The U.S. women's national team begins their Olympic qualifying campaign with a big win over Costa Rica. The team cruised to a 5-0 victory on Wednesday. Alex Morgan opened the scoring in just 12 seconds, setting a U.S. national team record. Morgan added another goal, and Crystal Dunn, Carly Lloyd, and Kristen Press all added a goal each. The women's team faces Mexico on Saturday in the second round of qualifiers. The Lakers lost their 3rd game in a row, falling to the Cleveland Cavaliers 121-111. Kobe took to the floor in his last game in Cleveland and one of his last games against LeBron James. The Cavaliers held the lead throughout the game with not much resistance. Cavaliers point guard Kyrie Irving led all scorers with 35 points. Bryant finished the game with 17. Kobe and LeBron will have 2 more chances to go head-to-head. Both will be starting in this weekend's All-Star game. The Lakers head to the All-Star break with the worst record in franchise history, with 11 wins and 44 losses. That's all for sports. Now let's go back to Haley with the weather report.
Get ready for more record-breaking heat in Southern California. Make sure to keep yourself hydrated. Hot and sunny days like these are unusual in the month of February, and temperatures are forcing many into the shade. Most of the Southland will see temperatures in the mid-80s today. Temperatures will reach the low 90s in the Valley and Inland Empire. Southern Californians can take advantage of the heat by taking a trip to the beach where temperatures have reached the low 80s. Thank you for watching Matador News. I'm Carolyne Hogikyan.
I'm Haley Kramer.
I'm Jordan Williams.
And I'm Stephanie Bedolla. Have a nice day.